What's up guys, it's henreeneo here. Today we're back with another video. Today we'll be taking a look at the Tecno Camon 16. It's been out for a while, but I have it now. This is the review. We're going to be taking a look at this bad boy to see how well it performs. As usual, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and also turn on notifications to be notified when I put up new videos. Let's begin. I have the white or the cloud white version here and it looks pretty decent. I kind of like the design on this one. It's made from plastic on the back, so don't expect any premium feeling phone here, but again, it's well built and it feels quite sturdy in the hand. It's also quite hefty, and I'm sure that's because it comes with a 5000 milliamp hour battery in this one, and paired with a 720p screen, you know what's going to happen there. You're going to have excellent battery life. So to kick off this review, I want to start with the cameras, since this is Tecno's camera centered phone. So I went out and I took a couple of photos, and I would say this, out on a scale of 1 to 10, I would score this camera a 6. And these are my reasons. It takes decent pictures, but it doesn't handle exposure very well, especially when you're in a very bright environment like a sunny day. So I took it out and I took a couple of pictures aside, and when you look at the pictures that I took, you would find out that the sky gets blown out all the time. You have absolutely no details in the sky. But for subjects that are close to the lens, it does a very good job in rendering them or giving you a really good result. This phone uses a 48 megapixel main rear camera. It has a 2 megapixel depth sensor and a 2 megapixel macro camera and an extra 2 megapixel camera. But again, the pictures look decent, but if you're looking for highlights here, high dynamic range or proper exposure, you probably will not get that with this phone. Color representation, however, looks true to life, so I was actually very impressed with that. So the downsides to the cameras, the main rear camera on this phone, is the inability to handle highlights and high dynamic range and exposure. But aside that, the pictures it took were quite good. So for the performance on this phone, you got the Helix G70 processor, 4 gigs of RAM and 128 gigabytes of internal storage. The Helix G70 is average at best, not as good as what we had in the Helix G80 on the Tecno Pova. That processor was really very good, and if you haven't seen my gaming review on that phone, you can click on the card up here to see the performance of the Helix G80 on the Tecno Pova. So what does the performance here look like? Well, it was average. I mean, performance was okay. You'd be able to go through apps smoothly without any problem. But when it comes to playing games, you definitely have to bump down some of your graphics for AAA games to medium settings. But in terms of the performance in general, on a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 7. Other specs on the phone include that 5000 milliamp hour battery, and it's absolutely amazing how long this battery lasts. You'd be getting up to 6 to 7 hours of screen on time depending on your usage. That being said, the fingerprint scanner on the back of this device is very impressive. It's very fast and very accurate. That's one thing that works really well on this phone. For the cons of this device are some of the things that I'm not very pleased with, and I think that Tecno should do away with going forward. A micro USB port, I mean, I think it's time we're done with this. Tecno should move on making phones with USB Type-C ports going forward. So if you were to compare the size of this phone with the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra, which is also a 6.8 inch screen, you'd find out the S20 Ultra has a smaller footprint than this phone. So this phone is quite big to handle in the hands. So for the price, the Tecno Camon 16 will cost you about 80,000 Naira, which is quite steep in my opinion. I feel like Tecno could have done better with the pricing on this device. There are other devices out there that come at the same level and are a bit cheaper than this. That being said, guys, thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions on the Tecno Camon 16, please leave them down in the comment section, and if you're not yet subscribed, a sub to the channel will be most appreciated. Also turn on notification to be notified when I put up new video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.